Recreational fishing goes much further beyond what most people think about when you say recreational fishing. It's more than just the tackle dealers, more than just the marina. An angler will go in there and buy a rod and reel, for example. Well, that retailer then has to purchase more product, has to buy a replacement inventory, has to pay their vendors, pay the power bill, has to pay their employees. The employees then go out and spend those angler dollars on entertainment, on groceries, on paying the mortgage or the rent. So through this mechanism, the angler's dollars change hands many times over. So it goes on a lot further. Recreational fishing benefits more than just the recreational industry. In this way, it benefits the entire economy of New Zealand. Taking angler dollars out of the economy, if they don't spend that money anywhere else, there would be a contraction not just in those businesses that serve recreational anglers. They also will take out dollars from everybody's pockets, no matter what sector you're in. What they think is recreational fishing, often people will look at recreational fishing as just being the large boats going offshore, marlin, big species, high dollar. And really the majority of the impact from recreational fishing is from the mass number of anglers who might be a little bit more casual, fishing inshore, fishing off a seawall, trailer boats. You add up all those dollars, and that's typically the vast majority of the economic impact created by recreational fishing. It's the everyday person out there, and their personal effort just to escape for the day creates these wonderful economic impacts that benefits the national economy. Our job here is to quantify not just the dollars spent by anglers, but to what degree do those dollars then go through the economy? To what level of jobs do they support, level of tax dollars that they support? The primary reason is to communicate the importance of recreational fishing to the national economy. A lot of people don't think of recreational fishing as real work, a real job generator. They often think about recreational fishing as playtime, what people do after work. Well, anglers spend a lot of money to go fishing, and those dollars then support a lot of jobs, create a lot of tax benefits for the country. It's a very significant activity. It needs to be treated as such. Solid economic information can really do a lot to help increase the abundance of fisheries. By communicating how important those fisheries are to the national economy, you create a whole incentive for the governments, for folks who otherwise don't care about fisheries to start caring and start demanding better accountability on the part of marine management, to start demanding better policies, better efforts to increase fishery populations, not just for the recreational fishing opportunities, but also for the other users out there too. Once people see the value of something, they'll start to care for it and bring it back to the healthy levels where it should be, not just for the existence of the resource itself, but primarily for the benefits it creates for people. A well-managed fishery allows for all users. You have to strike the right balance, recognizing the benefits that all users receive from the fishery. How much that would go to one fishery user versus another is up to government agencies to find that proper balance, and having good economic information allows them to help find that balance. But the whole public likes all the benefits from fisheries, whether you're consuming in a restaurant or at home, or whether you want to go out there and enjoy it personally. They're all wonderful activities. It just has to be managed in balance. There's a number of ways economic information can really help improve fisheries. There's many examples. One particular one that jumps to mind is the state of Florida, where I live in the United States. We had a situation back in the 1980s where fishery management was dominated by one user group, and fishery stocks were going down. Just they weren't being managed well or being over-harvested. And several pieces of information were produced that really helped turn things around. And one of them was economic information. We were able to show the state legislature that, hey, this is a very valuable, important resource to the state of Florida. Brought a lot of tourists in, a lot of dollars into the state, enjoyed by many of the residents. And we were able to finally turn things around. And within about 3 or 4 years, we saw some rapid increases in fish populations that had previously been over-harvested. We were able to get the nets off the spawning biomass, for example, for redfish. Great returns there. We saw some clean water, new water treatment systems being put into place to help protect the bays and the ocean, and it really made a big difference. And it only happened once the politicians understood the importance of fisheries. Florida, after the abundance started returning to fisheries, we saw some big increases in the charter boat business, which benefited the entire coastal, the smaller towns along the coast, and larger ones too. We saw increases in boat sales, boat dealerships, marinas where their business was increasing. So the whole coastline economy became much more vibrant by having stronger fisheries. And it's not just the redfish, for example, which we had in the first one that really turned around in the 80s, but it's been followed up with rebounds in the snook fishery, red snapper, many other fisheries. But that first success was key. It was the hardest success. But once people started seeing the success, saw how things worked, we had this very positive ripple effect down the line with other fisheries being managed better for both recreational and commercial users. When an economic study is complete, you're not finished with the project. When the economic study is completed, you're actually just beginning in the effort. You have to put it to work. You have to communicate the results. Now, having a report sitting on a shelf doesn't do any good on its own. It's getting the information out to the public, out to the decision makers, out to the public, out to the media. And then when the public understands the true values created by fisheries through this economic research, that's when you start receiving the benefits from these investments.